Well, it's a war. It's an ongoing war that has been ongoing for over a decade now. And this is what the world needs to be aware of. And in any war, there are battles lost and won. So there are some battles which Russia is winning, some battles which Ukraine is winning. To say that there are very significant advances on either side, that would be wrong. We're still in battle mode. That there are, of course, every day of this war is a tragedy for the Ukrainian people. This morning's news has not been very positive. We have Russian artillery firing on several towns in the region. We have, yet again, civilian losses, as we do every day. This is what life in Ukraine is like.
As we've been talking, the Prime Minister and indeed Kate were in Berlin and Warsaw this week. He was there to talk big on defence and the UK support for Ukraine. But how far will the extra cash go from this country or indeed from the United States? Much bigger amount voted through Congress this week to aid the fight back against the Russian invasion. Lesia Vasylenko is a Ukrainian MP for the Holos Party, part of the Ukrainian permanent delegation to the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. Good morning, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
How significant do you think were the renewed commitments of funding to the Ukrainian war effort from Britain and the United States this week?
They are definitely very much significant, and we are hoping to see them materialize in Ukraine on the battlefield, first and foremost. We have had many countries pledge significant sums of money for military aid of Ukraine, but we are yet to see the fighter jets in the Ukrainian sky, for example, or the long-range missile launching systems or other air defense systems that have been pledged and promised to Ukraine. So hopefully with the decisions coming from the US and then being seconded by the amounts pledged by the British government, by the end of the year, we will see yet another turnaround on the battlefield in Ukraine.
President Zelensky did say that without the aid coming from the United States, Ukraine was going to lose the war. Has that turned around now?
As I said, the aid is still to come. The decision has just been made. We're talking about not even a fortnight having passed as of the declaration, the publication of the decision. So it's still very early to say about the weapons actually being delivered and actually being used and creating a change of environment on the battlefield. This is yet to be seen. But we are all very hopeful here in Ukraine that there will be no delay in all the administrative procedures and in the signing off of the money and actually having it put to its purpose.
Because the suggestion has been that the American decision means that, at least as far as ammunition is concerned, you should be getting that pretty soon. But you're saying you haven't seen any sign of that yet.
Well, not yet. As I said, it's I imagine there needs to be at least a time for the delivery. Ukraine and the US are actually quite far. There's quite a big distance between them. There also needs to be some training involved. There also needs to be some delivery to the troops of the equipment. So we are yet to see the result.
So how would you characterize the status of the conflict at the moment? Again, it's been fairly widely reported that Russia appears to be making some limited advances along the front line.
Well, it's a war. It's an ongoing war that has been ongoing for over a decade now. And this is what the world needs to be aware of. And in any war, there are battles lost and won. So there are some battles which Russia is winning, some battles which Ukraine is winning. To say that there are very significant advances on either side, that would be wrong. We're still in battle mode. That there are, of course, every day of this war is a tragedy for the Ukrainian people. This morning's news has not been very positive. We have Russian artillery on several towns in the region. We have, yet again, civilian losses, as we do every day. This is what life in Ukraine is like, living through the war and making your best through the war, while also waiting for the international help to arrive and praying that it will arrive in time so that not another person, woman, man or child need to die.
Lesia Vasylenko, thank you very much indeed.
And for the latest in Ukraine, more analysis and insight, do search out Times Radio on YouTube and our Frontline series. Next.
A sweeping foreign aid package cleared the final hurdle in the U.S. Congress with ease late on Tuesday to provide fresh funding to Ukraine and Israel after months of delay. The Senate approved the $95 billion package by a wide margin of 79 to 18 votes. It was a combination of 4 bills. $61 billion goes to defending Ukraine against Russian advances in its war. $26 billion is for Israel, as well as humanitarian aid for civilians in conflict zones around the world. While some $8 billion will help Taiwan and other countries in the Indo-Pacific, quote, counter communist China. A 4th bill was added to the package by the House of Representatives last week to move on potentially banning the Chinese-owned social media app TikTok. Members of the House passed the combo package on Saturday after Republicans there abruptly ended a months-long stalemate. President Joe Biden has promised to sign it into law as soon as it reaches his desk. Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called Tuesday's vote an inflection point in history.
The conflicts we see right now in Europe, in the Middle East, and the tensions of the Indo-Pacific will go a long way in shaping the balance of power between democracy and autocracy in the decades to come, and the consequences for America's long-term security will be profound.
His Republican counterpart, Mitch McConnell, expressed regret about the delay.
For months, our friends have watched to see whether America still had the strength that won the Cold War or the resolve that has underpinned peace and prosperity literally for decades. Our enemies have tested whether the arsenal of democracy is, in fact, built to endure. Well, tonight, the Senate will send a clear message.
The two leaders applauded the bipartisan effort to finally get the package passed after strong opposition, mostly from hardline Republicans with close ties to Donald Trump. The former president has been skeptical of funding Ukraine as he pushes America First policies. McConnell later told a news conference he believes Congress has turned the corner on the isolationist movement. About $10 billion of the Ukraine money comes in the form of a loan, which Trump had suggested, though this bill lets the president forgive the loan starting in 2026.